So good morning to all of you. That's the problem. People with online always keep the mute at other end, and I really do not hear the response to good morning. Good morning to all of you, right? So that's the only problem with online education, right? Okay. Online and offline education are just the two faces of the same coin. Obviously, both the faces are important for the value of the coin. But what would be visible at any point of time is only one face of the coin, unless probably you are not seen the Sholay movie. In the Sholay movie, the coin always, neither head nor tail, always it stands vertical. All right, it was a very great imagination in Sholay movie. Whosoever has directed that was a wonderful job. I here also would emphasize for Vignan, the coin always stands vertical and would be rotating on its own axis so that both the faces could be visible for any stationary viewer of the whole education system. So today, I'm very delighted to see the other set of people whom normally I do not see regularly. Otherwise, these offline people would meet me everywhere, on the road, in my office, near the lift, in the lift, on the lift, everywhere. And they are highly delighted to talk to me, and this is the occasion that I am personally delighted to meet every one of you. Well then, online education, naturally, the institution would be more proud to mention the numbers of how many have enrolled into online. But what is more important is not the number of people who have enrolled for online education, but ultimately how many people will come out colorfully from this education and stand firm in the main line. Whether online or offline, it is finally the main line which keeps you taking forward in your progress. So people and governments speak about only GER, gross enrollment ratio. But I suggested to Government of India, it is not gross enrollment ratio. It is another ratio which is more important called gross qualification index, GQI. It is not GER. GER happens. The politicians, the trends, everything will happen. Like for example, they tell that we are doing plantations. They just do plantations. And when you look at the statistics of the plantations being made, I wonder the earth surface which is available in India would not have been possible to accommodate so many plants. Where are those plants gone? Where are those plants gone? So it is not plantation which is important, it is not grass enrollment which is important, but it is the plants which survive, which is the plant which come up, which is the plant that gives the shade, and which is the plant that spreads oxygen. That's more important. And therefore, more than grass enrollment ratio, what is very, very important is grass qualification index. And we would be delighted on the day of your convocation, because the day of convocation represents your GQI, gross qualification index. Hence, the whole effort is not just the enthusiasm in joining, but the enthusiasm has got to be sustained to continue your education, complete your education, learn in the process, learn in the process, and graduate colorfully, make use of that graduation in your life ahead. That's only then Vignan would be very, very happy. Vignan shall remain proud of every one of you all the time, but you have got to make Vignan happy by converting, by transforming whatever the education that you have received into a happening, into a product. In fact, people do not know how to define skill. Finally, they tell that you should have acquired the skill. There is nothing to acquire in the skill. Skill basic definition itself has not been understood by most of us. Skill is not what is acquired. Skill is an intrinsic ability. It's an intrinsic ability which comes from your birth. Skill is an intrinsic ability which aims to transform, which provides the means to transform your knowledge into your acquired knowledge. Please note that your acquired knowledge into action, into performance, and into product. Could you get that? And that's what the education has got to do. Education has got to provide you that skill set because of which you are able to transform your acquired knowledge into action, into product, and into performance. And I am very, very sure only those and all those who are highly capable shall be skillful in doing this act. Therefore, when you come to the online education or offline education, whatever the education, the most important is learning. And if you just focus only on assessment, the degree is only for submitting the assignments, if the degree is only for taking the stupid examinations, and if the degree is only for by hearting, rote learning before vomiting in the examination, then that is not the education at all. National education policy very clearly brings out what our Upanishads have already brought out, what our epic stories have already brought out, that learning is not for reproducing, learning is not for rote learning, the learning has got to be experiential learning. So when you experience whatever you have been doing, whether you are online, offline, remote, or whatever it is, whatever you do, if it is experienced, then one shall not forget, because whatever has been learned has been inculcated into the system, and that inculcation has got to happen, and that is the definition of education. Unfortunately, in the modern world, the whole thing has been lost. The education is only for placement. The education is only for some campus placement. The education is only for acquiring some higher positions. And the education is only to get the degrees which have no meaning other than the paper. But all education are not qualified. All educated people are, all educations would imply that a person is educated, but still the people could be educated fools. And when the educated people would also become qualified, then the meaning of qualification acquired by everyone shall have a greater responsibility and greater realm. I'm very sure the people over here want to be more qualified. They just do not like to be educated, they want to be qualified. That shows, because although you are already the working professionals, although you are earning enough for your present day survival, although you know that your bread and butter is not the worry for today, yet your desire to become qualified has drawn you into this online education. And I'm very sure you definitely would have understood the meaning and the expectation of education. I'm sure you are definitely going to become highly, highly qualified. Here, Shrikant just now mentioned that your whole value of your life, your whole length of your journey will be measured only in the 20 minutes of the interview. But then, people who prepare for interview are similarly stupid to those people who prepare for the examinations. All right? There is absolutely nothing called preparation in life. All right? One has got to keep learning and one has got to keep experiencing. If one is experienced, sharing the experience should what has got to happen in the interview. Obviously, which is that question which is beyond your experience? If it is really beyond your experience, tell honestly, I have not experienced that in the interview, and drag the interviewer to that field where you have got the richest experience. And when you start sharing the experience, the originality keeps flowing, originality gets reflected, and you will be the only choice for selection. Nobody else can be the choice of selection, because all others will give the made up answer, whereas you flow the original answer. That is what has got to be the greatest difference between a learner and the one who prepares for a stupid degree. It is not stupid degree, I am telling you. It is not stupid examination, I am telling you. It is learning, and learning has got to happen every day, every moment. Well, then, this education has got two interesting words: distance and online. They are really opposite words, because online reduces the distance. Only difference is, in the online, only your brains are expected to be active, whereas this type of offline will also make your hearts active. You have been here to learn now, to experience now through your hearts on this day what Vignan is, what is the objective of Vignan, and what's all about education. Online, obviously, you go back, start using your brain, but control your brain through your heart. Don't allow your brain to control your heart. That is the ultimate message of education. Thank you very much for such a patient hearing. And you are now very, very lucky that Dr. Lavu could join us on this occasion uh, at the right moment, and he will definitely talk much better, much higher expectations of this online education. Thank you very much.